What is up? What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Hello, hello, hello. Guys, happy Tuesday, everybody. And happy start of training camp for the WNBA. So, training camp has started. Training camp started on Sunday, the 28th of April. And we got lots of players trying to battle it out to become one of the 144, though it is going to be less than 144 for this season of the WNBA. But guys, there are only 12 maximum spots on each roster, and you have from rookies on down to veterans battling it out to see who is actually going to make the roster. Now, guys, I do want to just say I do apologize for being so late for this live stream. Yeah, it's a whole story. But anyway, we here now. And for this live stream, we're actually going to specifically just focus on the Las Vegas Aces. So if you all are curious about who is on the roster for the Las Vegas Aces, we're going to go player by player. All right, player by player. We're going to talk about who's on the roster, and then we're going to give you information about each person that's on the roster. And then we're going to finish off at the end telling you who I think is actually going to make the roster for the Las Vegas Aces, okay? Now, guys, initially, this video was already created, all right? This video was already created. I created this video over the weekend. It was going to be released. It was a produced video. It was going to be released on Sunday. And then right before it was going to be released, Candace Parker announced that she was going to retire. So that changed a lot of stuff. So my whole video got scrapped. Literally spent hours on it. It got completely scrapped because Candace Parker announced that she was retiring. And I was like, you know what? All this research and stuff cannot go to waste. All right. I got to make this happen. So that's why we're doing this live stream, just as a way to get out all the information and research that I did about the various players for the Aces and just go player by player. Okay. All right. So I hope you all are having a fantastic, fantastic day. Because guys, we got some women's basketball to talk about because, you know, what better day is it to talk about women's basketball? So, all right. So we're going to talk about the Las Vegas Aces, and let's get into it. So, but before we actually do that, before we go player by player, I do just want to just show you all the roster as it stands right now. So, as you all know, Candace Parker announced her retirement, though she is still listed on the Las Vegas Aces roster. Why exactly? I don't know, but she's still listed on the roster, okay? So we have Bree Beal, Kirsten Bell, Alicia Clark, Sydney Colson, Dyaisha Fair, Chelsea Gray, Megan Gustafson, Bria Hartley, Angel Jackson, Morgan Jones, Kate Martin, Kamira McDaniel, Candace Parker, though Candace Parker has retired, Kelsey Plum, Kia Stokes, Asia Wilson, and Jackie Young. So all of these players are competing to be one of the 12 spots, okay? So 12 spots for the Las Vegas Aces. Initially, they were only going to be able to have 11 spots. That was when Candace Parker was still on the roster. Now, the way the salary cap is leaning, they actually do have cap space to have 12 players. It's just that they have to be very strategic about which 12 players it is, because you need the younger the better in terms of grabbing certain players. Okay, so technically they have salary cap to do 12 players, though we'll see if they actually do 12 players. But here's the roster of players who are competing to be one of those 12. So lots of players competing. All right, and again, guys, we're going to go player by player. Now, a couple things to know about the Las Vegas Aces. They are your back-to-back WNBA champs. The core is largely the same from last year, though they did add some new talent in the squad, including, you know, Iowa's Kate Martin, Syracuse's Dyaisha Fair. You also have Bree Beal from South Carolina on the squad as well. So we're going to go player by player and talk about who's on this roster. And guys, the thing to note about this roster is that it actually has 7 rookies. 7 rookies. on the squad. All right. 7 rookies on the squad for the Las Vegas Aces. And Mr. President is very excited about it. And he's letting everybody know that he is excited about the rookies that are on the Las Vegas Aces, okay? All right, so let's go player by player and let's kind of talk about it. All right, so I first want to start with... All right, so I first want to start with Brea Beal. So we have South Carolina's own Brea Beal, and if you are wondering, wait, hold up, Brea Beal's not a rookie. She graduated in 2023, and she was drafted. Well, yes, you are right. Brea Beal was drafted, but technically she is still a rookie because she has yet to play in a WNBA regular season game, okay? That is how the WNBA handles things. You can play in preseason, right? But that does not count. That does not count in terms of whether or not you are considered a rookie. You're considered a rookie until you have your first game in the WNBA. So technically, Brea Beal is a rookie. All right. She was drafted in the second round in the 2023 draft to Minnesota. And like many rookies, last year and this year and every year, a lot of rookies get cut. All right. So she did not survive training camp without getting cut from Minnesota. And she's been reunited with with the legend that is A'ja Wilson. So there is another Gamecock in the building for South Carolina. You have A'ja Wilson and you have Brea Beal, who is getting a shot. She's getting a shot with the Las Vegas Aces. Now we're gonna see what Brea Beal can do because we all know that Brea Beal can play defense for days. That's not an issue. That is not an issue at all. She could play some defense from her days at South Carolina. We know that. The question is for Brea Beal, though, does she have the offensive firepower to actually make the squad? Because there are some dynamic scorers for the Las Vegas Aces coming into training camp. And so the question is can she do enough to actually end up making a roster? It is going to be an uphill battle for Brea Beal, but she does have an advantage in terms of having A'ja Wilson on the squad, and A'ja sort of looking out for her fellow Gamecock to make sure that Brea Beal knows what she needs to do to convince Becky to have a roster spot. So that is Brea Beal, the first of the 7 rookies that we are going to talk about. All right. Next up, let's talk about Dyaisha Fair. All right, in this year's draft, we have the 16th pick in the draft, standing at 5'5", Miss Dyaisha Fair. She is a 5'5" point guard from Syracuse. Now, if you don't know, if you've never heard about Dyaisha Fair ever, well, know this: Dyaisha Fair is lightning in a bottle. She is fantastic. Last season, we saw this. Last season for Syracuse, she averaged 22.3 points a game, which is fantastic. She played 5 years in college and became the 3rd all-time scorer in D1 women's basketball history with 3,403 points. That's a lot of points, okay? Yes, she did stay 5 years, but still, regardless, that is a lot of points, okay? Okay. Also, a thing to note is about Brea Beal real quick. A quick side note to go back to Brea Beal. Luminera reminded me, yes, that Brea Beal is from Rock Island, Illinois. So shout out to Brea Beal for that. I gotta rock out with the people from Illinois, okay? I gotta rock out with those people. So thank you, Luminera, for reminding everybody that Brea Beal is from Rock Island, okay? Okay. All right, continuing on with Dyaisha Fair. She's fantastic. She can score for days. We've seen, especially sort of late in the season and even in the tournament, we've seen where Dyaisha Fair can just go off and get bucket after bucket after bucket after bucket. Okay. And the thing about it is when you're talking about Dyaisha Fair, you're not worried about her scoring. That's not the issue at all. The thing that is going to come into play for Dyaisha Fair is her height. Okay. Again, I said it before. She's standing at 5'5", and the WNBA used to be a spot where shorter, specifically point guards, could survive and thrive. And there are still some very short point guards still in the league, but for the most part, the WNBA has transitioned into having, taller guards. Not that much taller, but definitely not 5'5". And that's going to be the hard part. Becky knows Dyaisha Fair can score. That's not the issue. But can she do what she needs to do defensively to make up for the fact that she's short? That's the question. And I think we're gonna see what happens with Dyaisha Fair, because she is, again, guys, she is lightning in a bottle. She really is. But can she make it happen? Is the biggest question I have about her. All right. And so, guys, let me know in the chat. What are your thoughts about Dyaisha Fair and Bree Beal? Any thoughts about their chances at making it for a roster spot? Now, guys, I will be talking about specifically each player and like where exactly I think they're going to go in the WNBA draft, or not the WNBA draft, because the WNBA draft is over. Where they're going to go in terms of whether or not they're going to make the roster or not make the roster. So we're gonna get to that once we've gone through all the teams. But guys, let me know, in your opinion, where do you think both of these players are so far? Okay. All right, moving on. We are going to talk about. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about Angel Jackson. All right, Angel Jackson is a 6'6" center from Jackson State. She was drafted as the 36th pick in this year's WNBA draft, becoming the 7th HBCU player to be drafted and the 3rd from the SWAC to be drafted into the WNBA. Also, fun fact, Tamika Reed, Coach Tamika Reed, who actually just got a job at Charlotte, she actually coached two of the most recent WNBA draft picks from the SWAC. So shout out to Coach Reed for that. But anyway, Angel Jackson is really, really, really good on defense. She is a defensive juggernaut. She is a 2-time SWAC Defensive Player of the Year. This past year, Angel averaged 9.6 points a game and 7 rebounds. Now, the thing to note is, guys, with Candace Parker announcing her retirement, I really do think that Angel Jackson actually has a really good shot at making this roster. Before, I was like, no way, she's not going to make this roster. You had, Candace Parker, Kia Stokes, Megan Gustafson that she would be competing against. And she's not going to make that roster. But now with Candace Parker retired, kind of makes you wonder, does Angel Jackson have a shot? And I think she does. I think she does have a shot. And as long as she plays her cards right, as long as she it's sort of like as long as she does exactly what she needs to do in practice in terms of just like showing up, being ready to go every single day in practice, taking all the advice in and making it happen on the court, I really do think she has a good shot of actually making the roster. So now I know there's a lot of people that are saying, "Oh, I've seen, I even saw a video made about, Candace Parker is retired, so Kate Martin has a shot to make the roster, and the reason that she would make the roster is because of Candace." And it's like, guys, if anything, the Aces are looking to get another big, and Angel Jackson is possibly that big that you would grab as a replacement for Candace Parker. All right, and now that I mentioned her, I guess I kind of need to switch over to her now. Right now is Kate Martin. Kate Martin is a 6-foot small forward from Iowa. Also, she does, I believe she does hail from Illinois as well, doesn't she? I believe Kate Martin is from Illinois. So yeah. Anyway, let's talk about Kate Martin. Actually, before we go to Kate Martin, I see there's a question about Angel Jackson. Bree Wayne says, "The Angel Jackson even score?" She does score. She does score. All right, she does score. She's not Angel Jackson to me, and this is not it's not the best direct comparison. So sort of take this, kind of loosely. Also, guys, hit that like button, please. Hit that like button. We are at 41 likes, and we got 260 people in the chat. So if y'all can hit that like button, that would be absolutely fantastic. All right. So the thing about Angel Jackson is she's not going to score a lot. She's not. But what she is going to do is she's going to play some great defense, and she's not going to do something that'll get her taken off the court. And in some ways, she's sort of like a Kia Stokes, kind of. Again, not the best comparison ever, but somewhat similar in a way that it's a player who defensively is really, really good. And sure, if they score, fantastic. But really, 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 the calling card really is defense. And I think that's gonna help a lot. Okay. So Bree Wayne, hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, she's not a super scorer. No, she averaged, she didn't even average 10 points a game this past season. But I still think she's a really, really good player. That if a team actually takes a chance on her, could be a good defensive piece, especially coming off the bench, and also as a player who can bring you some points as well. So. All right, moving on to the player that a lot of people in the chat want to talk about, Miss Kate Martin, hailing from Edwardsville. Kate Martin is a 6-foot small forward, though she can kind of play anything. She could be a small forward, she could be a shooting guard, she could be a power forward. She can kind of do a little bit of everything on the court. She was selected as the 18th pick in this year's WNBA draft. Now, there is a whole lot a fanfare around Kate Martin. You can just tell when the Aces post anything about Kate Martin, y'all know the fans go crazy for Kate Martin. Okay, it is insane to see the amount of Iowa fans just sort of fangirling over Kate Martin when the Las Vegas Aces put out a picture of her or a video of her. So Kate Martin really is in my opinion, sort of like a Swiss Army knife. She can kind of do a little bit of everything. And guys, she was called the glue when she was at Iowa. And the reason why she was called the glue is because she knits the team together. She is the binding force. She was the binding force for Iowa that sort of enabled them to achieve the things that they achieved. Yes, absolutely. They had Alicia Clark, the best college player in the country. But Kate Martin gelled everybody. And I also sort of call Kate Martin sort of like I call her like the bailout girl. Kate Martin is a player who, when things kind of go awry, when if the rare times that Caitlin Clark did get stuck, who would she pass it to? She's passing to Kate Martin, and Kate Martin would figure out something to do. She would drive to the basket, or she'd hit a three, or like she'd do one of her crazy spin moves. Like Kate Martin, she was the bailout girl for Iowa, and I think that was like really, really necessary, and I think it really just showed her versatility as a player. She can just be on the 3-point line, ready to spot up and hit that three. She can, get to the basket on the dribble. She can grab the ball in the post and know what to do with it. She's a player who can kind of do a little bit of everything. And I think that's really going to help her a lot. This past season for Iowa, Kate averaged 13.1 points a game, 6.8 rebounds a game, and 2.3 assists a game, helping Iowa to get to their second straight championship game. Yes, of course they lost, but the fact that they got there is huge. And Kate Martin really was a big piece to the puzzle for Iowa. Now, the thing is, it is going to be an uphill battle for Kate Martin to make this roster. But her motor and her ability to just adapt and sort of be able to fit anywhere is really, really going to help her going forward with this Las Vegas Aces team. It's really going to give her a chance to make this stacked roster. Okay, so guys, that is sort of my talk about Kate Martin, the player that everybody loves to talk about, or a lot of people love to talk about. Michaela says Twitter is going on a rampage if she gets cut. maybe possibly. Says every comment on the Aces post is about Instagram post is about Kate Martin. I mean, people rap for their player, right? And I don't mind that, If I was an Iowa fan, yeah, I'd be riding for her too, But yeah. Lil says if it comes down to Fair and Kate, you best believe they're keeping Kate. Well, see, the thing is, Lil, is I actually don't think they would pick between the two because they're not the same. Like, to me, I don't even think you can really compare Dyaisha Fair to Kate Martin because they don't even play the same position, right? Dyaisha Fair is going to be a point guard, her height basically pigeonholes her into that point guard spot, whereas Kate Martin is sort of an everything. She could be a small forward. She could be a shooting guard. She can kind of do anything. So to me, they are not, like, I don't believe that Becky is going to be picking between, oh, is it going to be Dyaisha or is it going to be Kate? Because they're different. They're different players. So So to me, I don't think they're comps. So that's my opinion. So for the people who I don't agree. Now Bree Wayne, I do agree with this. Bree Wayne says it's going to be between Kate Martin and Bree Beal. I 100% believe that, and I will be actually sort of talking about that at the end of the stream, because I really do think it's going to come down to both of those players. So to me, that is a comp. Bree Beal and Kate Martin. That really is the comp right there. But Dyaisha Fair and Kate Martin, I don't think so. I don't think so. All right. So we talked about quite a few players so far. Now, guys, I do want to talk about a player who is technically on the roster, but will not actually be there for training camp and even for the rest of the season. And that's because of, injuries. All right. So I do want to talk about, hold hold on. Let me pull up her graphic. Hold on, guys. Let me pull up her graphic. All right. Next up, let's talk about let's talk about Elizabeth Kitley. So Elizabeth Kitley is listed on the roster for the Las Vegas Aces. She is a 6'6" center from Virginia Tech who was drafted as the 24th pick in this year's WNBA draft. Kitley is injured and will be out for this year's WNBA season. So yes, she was drafted by the Aces, and she will be working with the Aces training staff, but will not be competing in training camp. Okay, so that's something to know. So she'll be with the training staff, getting better, getting healthy, getting ready to go. So that way next year, Elizabeth Kitley is ready to possibly start for this team. Now the reason why Elizabeth Kitley was even drafted as low as she was is because she was hurt. Teams knew that she was going to have to sit out for the entire year, and most teams in the WNBA were like, no, we cannot afford to waste to spend a draft pick on a player who will not be ready day one. And because of that, the Las Vegas Aces was pretty much the only team that was in a position to be like, yeah, we'll draft you. We'll draft you because we're fine if you can't play with us this year, because we know down the line we're gonna need you. And I think they thought that Candace was going to be retiring soon. I don't know if they thought she was going to be retiring as soon as she did. She announced she retired on Sunday, but Alicia Kitley was drafted to replace Candace Parker, in my opinion. I think they all thought that it was going to be next year that she was going to replace Candace Parker. So this year they're going to have to figure out someone else to sort of replace what Candace Parker could do. Though it's not even replacing, because no one can replace Candace Parker. So, filling the spot. That's what I mean. Alicia Kitley is hurt. She will be practicing with, she will be training with the training staff, getting herself ready to go for next season when she will play. But again, guys, a healthy Kitley is dominant. Guys, she won the ACC Player of the Year for a reason. She's very, very good. She is a fantastic down low post player that has a super silky smooth fadeaway jumper that is very, very hard to defeat against. When Elizabeth Kitley is healthy, she is going to be a player that you guys will be watching for, okay? We talk about all the stuff that the Las Vegas Aces have, right? And next year with Elizabeth Kitley, that's going to be fun. This past year for Virginia Tech, Elizabeth averaged 22.8 points a game and 11.4 rebounds a game. Yeah. Also, guys, she did add in 2.1 blocks a game. So not only can Elizabeth Kitley get after it on offense, she can also make some serious noise on defense as well. So guys, yeah, the future of Las Vegas basketball, especially in that post position, it's looking pretty bright. It is looking pretty bright. Okay. So I did just want to just sort of talk about that and let you all know that technically Elizabeth Kitley is not on the training camp roster because she's out. She's hurt. And she will be out for the remainder of the season, though she will be working with the training staff at Las Vegas to sort of get right. Okay. So we talked about quite a few rookies so far. And I want to keep the party going. Keep the party going with the rookies. Okay. And now we're gonna sort of talk about another rookie who is technically a rookie, but is in a similar position as Bree Beal. All right. So next up we have 6'1", small forward, Morgan Jones from Louisville. So Morgan was eligible for the 2023 WNBA draft, but she did go undrafted last season. And she decided to go overseas. And she was straight up balling overseas. Now, y'all, Becky Hammon was looking at European women's basketball tape. She was looking and scouring to find players to sign. And Morgan Jones was doing her thing overseas. In October of 2023, she joined PAOK. This is a team in the Greece A1 League. And over 22 games, Morgan averaged 24.5 points a game and 10.8 rebounds a game. Yes, the Greece A1 League is not the best league in the world. However, you know, she still was balling. She still was doing her thing. And Becky Hammon took a look at that and was like, okay. I think we might want to add you to our roster. Okay. I think we might want to add you to our roster. So she did just that. Morgan signed a training camp contract on February the 1st, 2024, and we will see what she does on the court this season. Again, she was undrafted last year, and she's going to try to do her best to actually make a roster for the WNBA because, guys, we know how hard it is to make a roster. We know that there are not even just players who are drafted. There are players who are undrafted every single year that try their best to compete for a roster spot. And I have to say, guys, it's tough. It really is tough for these players. And they have to go overseas, you know, deal with a new language and try their absolute best to hustle, to grind, and try to get back in the U.S. To play for a WNBA team. It is an uphill battle. It really is. It really is an uphill battle. Bree Wayne says, who is this girl on my screen? I've never heard of her. Her name is Morgan Jones. Okay, her name is Morgan Jones. And she is she's pretty good. You know, she was good at Louisville. Now is balled out in Greece. And now she's trying her hand at making a WNBA roster. Because guys, it's not just the players we know. There's lots of other players in training camps who are competing for a roster spot. Okay. All right. So let's continue on. And let's talk about another player who was balling overseas. And her name is she's a 5'9" shooting guard from Michigan State. Kamara McDaniel. Kamara was eligible also for the 2023 WNBA draft, but like Morgan, Kamara was undrafted, and she decided to head overseas and has been balling. She went overseas in this past September actually, and she is playing for a team called Yalova VIP. They play in the TKBL, which is a Turkish league, the Turkish Women's Basketball League. Turkey has two leagues for women's basketball, and the TKBL is a league. So in that league, in the TKBL, McDaniel averaged 37.9 points a game. Again, she averaged 37.9 points a game to go along with 7.7 rebounds and 5.4 assists. Wow, that's a lot. Yes, it was in the TKBL. So, it's sort of like one of those things where it's kind of hard to totally judge that because again, the leagues are very different. But she impressed Becky Hammon, so she ended up signing a training camp contract in February as well, and we will see what Kamara can do. All right, so guys, that was kind of a look at the rookies for the Las Vegas Aces, and guys, It's going to be an uphill battle for them to actually make a roster, okay? It's going to be a huge uphill battle. All right? So 7 rookies that are competing for a roster spot. All right. So we're going to move on to sort of talk about some of the non-rookies who are competing for a roster spot. And I do want to just see, guys, any thoughts about who from these rookies are actually going to make the roster? Yeah. So let me know who you all think is actually going to make a roster. All right, because I am very curious as to what you all think. Now, guys, I will be telling you my opinion about who's going to be making these roster spot, making a roster spot. But yeah. All right, so I'm gonna tell you my opinion, but before we do that, I do want to hear what you all have to say. All right, now continuing on to talk about these players, let's talk about the twofer that the Las Vegas Aces got. They were able to sign a fantastic player and a fantastic dog. So yeah, we went through the rookies, and now let's talk about the other players for the Aces. And we begin with 6'4" center, Iowa legend Megan Gustafson and her very cute little dog Pancake. All right, let's just sort of get into Megan Gustafson. So Megan Gustafson, she has 5 years under her belt in the WNBA, and I really feel like last year Megan Gustafson hit her stride as a player. She played for the Mercury last season, and she averaged 15.1 minutes a game. She averaged 7.9 points a game, 3.4 rebounds a game. Sure, absolutely. This is not the most points in the world. This is not she's not the best player in the world. But the thing about Megan is that she was able to prove that she can be a reliable post player coming off the bench. And she was able to do that last year, and we saw it. And there were times where I was like, "Ooh, Megan Gustafson's looking really good." Yeah, sure. In terms of scoring the most points, yeah, she's not gonna do that, but you're gonna be able to put her in the game, and she's not gonna make a mistake. Or if she does, she's not gonna be a dramatic mistake. You can bring her in and just allow her to do her thing. Okay. Now, guys, if y'all could please hit that like button, that would be fantastic, guys. We got 300 people in the chat, and we only have 100 likes. Okay, can we get to 200 likes, please? Can we get to 200 likes? That would be absolutely fantastic. Okay, thank you. All right, so continuing on talking about Megan Gustafson. So yes, as a Phoenix Mercury, I thought last year she was amazing. I really thought she was really good last season, and her play last season to me earned her a contract with the Las Vegas Aces. And besides the fact that she plays in the WNBA, she also plays for the London Lions overseas. So in the offseason, she plays for the London Lions. She helped the London Lions win not only the Euro Cup, but helped them to win a British title as well. So for the Euro Cup, Megan Gustafson averaged 15.2 points a game and 6.2 rebounds a game. And Euro Cup is pretty competitive. Euro Cup is pretty competitive. So I would say that's some really good competition. Also, fun fact to know, like quite a few WNBA players that are American, she is a naturalized citizen of Spain, and she joined the Spanish national team to play basketball, where she's actually going to be playing this summer in the Olympics for Spain. So that's an interesting fact. There's lots of players that are American in the WNBA who are who have become citizens of other countries, so that way they can play on the other country's national team. So that's a fun fact. We're going to talk about another player who is actually a citizen of another country as well. All right, so that is Megan Gustafson. She did sign a deal in free agency with the Las Vegas Aces. She is on a 2-year deal that is unprotected according to her hoop stats. So yeah, she technically can get cut. Megan Gustafson can get cut. It's unprotected. So, the Aces are not at a loss if her and Pancake get boot. But most likely they're not going anywhere, okay? Because Megan Gustafson is a really good player, and I think she's going to show what she's all about in training camp, and I don't think there's any worry in my head. I don't think it's not likely that Megan Gustafson is actually cut. It's not likely, though. Technically, she can be, and it won't be any sweat off of the backs of the Las Vegas Aces. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Now, guys, there is another person that I wanna talk about. And here, I want to just grab a photo real quick. Now, guys, I had photos for everybody, but then I couldn't find it, so I had to grab the photos again. And so yeah. All right, next up, let's talk about Bria Hartley. Bria Hartley is a player who, if you've been watching women's college like if you watched women's college basketball, like I want to say back in the day, it's not back in the day, it's only a couple years ago, but you probably remember Bria Hartley, okay? And she is UConn's very own. She is a 5'9" guard. She was drafted by the Seattle Storm with the 7th overall pick in the 2014 WNBA draft. She signed with Phoenix, or no, actually, she never played with the Seattle Storm. She was drafted by the Seattle Storm. Then she was traded to Washington on draft day or draft night. Then she was traded again to New York in 2017. She signed with Phoenix as a free agent in 2020. She ended up tearing her ACL in 2020, so that was pretty bad. She came back at the end of 2021 for the Mercury, and then the following season in 2022, she played briefly with both the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun before tearing her ACL one more time. Yeah, 2 ACL tears in a very, very short period of time for Bria Hartley, which is a rough stint. She didn't play in the WNBA last season, in 2023 season, but she did play overseas for a team called Galatasaray. And for Galatasaray, she averaged 12.3 points a game in the KBSL, which is another Turkish league that exists. And like many WNBA players, many American WNBA players, Bria Hartley does play for another country. All right, she is a naturalized citizen for the French national team, and she's played with them in the past. She signed a training camp deal with the Las Vegas Aces in February. Okay, so those are the newcomers to the team. All right, so we went through quite a few newcomers for this team, and basically all of those players are competing to be on the bench. They're competing for a bench spot for this team. All right, a bench spot for the squad, because the Las Vegas Aces, we know the players that they have, right? We know they have some top players that will most likely play all the minutes for the Las Vegas Aces this year. But I did just want to walk through some of the newcomers, which is a lot of newcomers that this team has. And now we're gonna go into the returning players for this squad. Okay. we're gonna get into the returning players, because there's a lot of players, and I think it's gonna be really, really fun to watch, to see what happens to the Las Vegas Aces this year. Are they gonna repeat, or are they not gonna repeat? It for sure is going to be in the hands of these players that I'm about to talk about. Okay, and we first start with Kirsten Bell. So Kirsten Bell is a 6'1" small forward / shooting guard. She was drafted in 2022 with the 11th overall pick for Vegas, and she hasn't left since. She's one of the rare rookies who actually made a roster and actually stayed on the team that they were signed with. And she's won 2 championships already. In her short WNBA career so far, she has won 2 WNBA championships. Last season, she averaged 2.8 points a game. Now, the thing about Kirsten Bell can ball. She really can. And the thing about Kirsten Bell is that she just doesn't really get in the game. Becky Hammon, we all know this. Becky Hammon really doesn't play her bench, and they have a short coattail. If they make a mistake, yoink, they getting out of here. So it's one of those things where I'm not totally sure about Kirsten Bell, because yes, in college she was great, and into the WNBA, like, I haven't seen enough of her in the WNBA itself to really be able to determine whether or not she makes the squad. I do think she gets the nod, because she's a returning player who just sort of knows the system. But yeah, that is one of those things that I'm not quite sure if Kirsten Bell keeps her spot, because there's a lot of competition that just came in the door for this squad. So so that's the thing. That's the thing about Kirsten Bell. She's a good player. Was a great player in college. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how she is in the WNBA, because that's a thing. Let's see what y'all have to say in the comments. And guys, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. If y'all can, please hit that like button. We are on our road to 200 likes. That would be fantastic if we can get there. Also, if y'all have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. All right, let's see. Kelsey says, has Kirsten Bell played overseas at all? No, she did not. She has not played overseas to my knowledge, but she has played in AU, Athletes Unlimited. She has played in Athletes Unlimited, but I don't believe she has played overseas though. All right, so let's move on to another player. And let me grab the sorry guys, I'm gonna grab a photo. One of my favorite photos of this player. and guys, I wanna talk about one of the most important players in the WNBA right now, and that is Miss Sydney Colson. Sydney Colson is the face of the WNBA. She is the self-proclaimed face of the league. Okay, if you didn't know, now you know. Sydney Colson is that girl. Okay. She is standing at 5'8" tall. She is hailing from Texas A&M. Now, Sydney Colson is, she's been doing this WNBA thing for a very, very, very long time, for 9 whole years, in fact. And she has really, really found her niche at the Las Vegas Aces. She's had a stint at the Aces before. She came back, Now it looks like she is like here to stay when it comes to Las Vegas Aces. Now the thing that you need to know about Sydney Colson, you know, overall, Sydney Colson doesn't really play. You know, she's just, she sits on the bench, doesn't really get in the game. Great cheerleader for her squad. Great culture fit for the squad. But y'all, last year, Sydney Colson put this team on her back. Okay. Now let's rewind back. Let's rewind back into game 4 of the WNBA finals. You had 3 players for the Las Vegas Aces injured and out. Sydney Colson came in the game and brought the energy for the Las Vegas Aces. She gave it all she had. She was in the game 15 minutes. In that 15 minutes, she did get 5 fouls, And yes, she did get fouled out. That's, not great for 15 minutes. But if you actually watch the 15 minutes that she played in the game, the defense that she had, the energy that she had, she really did just sort of she lifted the spirits of the Las Vegas Aces like when she came in the game. And it was like, sure, her stats didn't show it. Absolutely, her stats didn't show it. She left the game with 2 points, 1 assist in that game. So if that's all you're looking at, sure, you're probably like, oh, that's not a big deal, not a big deal at all. But guys, she had a 17 in efficiency. And I think a lot of times people sleep on Sydney Colson. Like, yes, Sydney Colson is a jokester. Sydney Colson, she's funny. It's hard to really take her that serious. But guys, Sydney Colson is a fantastic defender, in my opinion. In my opinion, she is a fantastic defender. Also, she is, she's able to just, show her presence when she gets in the game. Yeah, she's not going to score a lot. She's not, and guys, if it doesn't make sense, the fact that I'm saying that, oh, she was so great in game 4 of the playoffs, and you're like, oh, she only had 2 points and 1 assist. If that doesn't make sense to y'all, go back, sign up for WNBA League Pass, go back and watch that game, and watch when Sydney Colson came in the game, and watch the shift that her presence had. Okay, just watch that, and come back and let me know what you think. Okay, because to me, I was like, yeah. Sydney Colson might have earned a spot on this roster for years and years to come because of what she's able to do when the team needs her the most. Now, again, she's not going to score. She's not going to score a ton. If you're looking for a lot of scoring, maybe she's not your girl, But yeah, I don't sleep on Sydney Colson. I'm just saying. Yeah, sure, she's a jokester. She's hilarious, actually. But she's way more than that. She's way more than that as a player. Okay, so don't sleep. One thing to note is that the Las Vegas Aces signed Sydney Colson to a training camp contract, so she is not on a regular contract. She is on a training camp contract. Okay, she is on a training camp contract. So that's something else. So they could waive her after the training camp is over. I really do think it's unlikely. I think some of the newcomers are going to really have to impress Becky Hammond for Sydney Colson to get cut, but we'll see what happens. We will absolutely see what happens. Triple X, thank you for the super chat. But this question has nothing to do with our conversation. Triple X is saying Caitlin Clark, Juju, or Paige Beckers, who impacts women's basketball more long term? I don't know, Triple X. I'm sorry. I am like solely into the Las Vegas Aces talk right now. That I'm not even thinking about women's college basketball. Triple X. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for the super chat. I don't know. I think all of them, all three of them, are going to hugely impact women's basketball going in the future. You know, it's going to be great this season watching Caitlin Clark do her thing in the W. It's going to be great when Juju and Paige can do the same thing when they get to the W. I have no idea. Maybe hit me up on a live stream about women's college basketball. I don't. I probably have an opinion when I think about it more, but I'm so into the Las Vegas Aces right now that I don't know Triple X. But I do appreciate you for the super chat though. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for the super chat. Okay, thank you very much. But I don't know because we are knee deep in conversation about the Las Vegas Aces. So I don't know. But there's people in the chat who are giving you their opinion. So you know. Hopefully that's helpful for you, Triple X. But thank you for the super chat. All right, now we talked about Kirsten Bell. We talked about Sydney Colson. Now who's next? Well, the player who's next that I want to talk about is. Hold on, I'm pulling up the graphic right now. Oh, that is the alarm for my bedtime. So guys, we gotta push through this fast. All right, we gotta push through this fast. Okay, so the next player I want to talk about is Kiah Stokes. Kiah Stokes is a 6'3" center, also from UConn. So 2 UConn Huskies in the building. So 2 Gamecocks, 2 UConn Huskies in the building. And she's going on her 9th year in the WNBA. The thing to know about Kiah Stokes is that she is really just the perfect player off the bench. She can come off the bench and make an impact. She doesn't care about the fanfare. She doesn't care if she's the best player on the team. She wants to come in the game, play some defense, play her role, and get out. And I think that's just really what makes her so special. And that's what the Las Vegas Aces want her to do. They want her to come in the game and play some defense. Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. We talk about, the scoring prowess that the Las Vegas Aces have. And we're going to get to the scoring prowess of their high octane players who can just really do their thing. But to me, Kiah Stokes is one of the most underrated players for the Las Vegas Aces because she does all the little things that no one really cares about, she's this is a good one. Yes. Banji says more of a support ensemble. Yeah. Kiah Stokes, she does what she needs to do. All right. So here's a quote that I wanted to sort of mention about Kiah Stokes. Here is what she told the Next in 2023 about her as a player. So she said, "I don't know another way to explain it. Especially at UConn, we're surrounded by so many different scorers. I tried to find a way to stand out, and I think it just kind of stuck with that. I'm sure everyone would like me to be more aggressive offensively. It's a work in progress. I think that's just what my mindset was, that there's a lot of people who can score in the league, but not a lot of people can play defense. And if I could try to at least separate myself in that sense, hopefully I could find a job or be on a team and get some minutes. I'm not asking to play 30 minutes a game. I'm just to do my role and succeed where I can." Now, guys, that was a direct quote from Kiah Stokes. And that to me, that is the quote that sort of wraps up Kiah Stokes' career in the WNBA. She doesn't care about the limelight. She just wants to get in there, play defense, get get boards offensively and defensively, and just do her thing. And whether she starts or not, she doesn't care. And I just you don't find a lot of players like that. You just don't. There's a lot of players who even if they're not that girl, they want to be that girl. And with Kia Stokes, she's just like, you know what? I'm gonna play my role, and I think there's a place for me in the WNBA to do that, and it is. And that's what the Las Vegas Aces. Kia Stokes is so crucial to the squad, and really was crucial in helping this team get to the finals last year. Yes, she did get hurt. She did get hurt in the finals last season, but she's back. And she's going to be raring to go at the start of the season. So I can't wait to see what Kia Stokes does. She for sure is likely going to be the starter. She was starting in the second half of the season when Candace Parker went down last year. So it's likely that we will see Kia Stokes in the starting lineup. But the question is who's the sixth man coming in for her is the question. And will Becky challenge Kia Stokes to be a little bit more offensive minded this season, especially with the fact that that they won't have Candace Parker. So that's a question. That's a question for sure. Yeah. Banji says, perfect quote. She knows her strength. Yeah. And it just makes her so special. Sure, if Kia Stokes actually wanted to score, Kia Stokes can score. She can absolutely score if she wants to. The thing is, does she want to? That's the thing. That's the thing is, does she want to? That's the key thing. So Kia Stokes is a 2-time WNBA champ. She did make the defensive second team in her first season in the W. And she would have more of those if she actually played more minutes. So like this year, I think she's for sure going to be in the running for a defensive honor of some sort, because that's just what she does. And she'll have the minutes to sort of back it up. And guys, if you're wondering how many points she scored last season, she scored 2.2 points a game. And in terms of rebounds, she averaged 5.9 rebounds a game. All right. And she played around 19 minutes a game last season. So hopefully that helps you kind of get a rounded sense of who Kia Stokes is as a player. All right, now we're gonna get into that high octane offense that the Las Vegas Aces is very much known for. Okay. We're gonna get into the big four, or the big three for the Las Vegas Aces. Okay, it used to be the big four, but there was a retirement, so now it's the big three. It is the big three that I want to talk about. And let me just pull up that graphic, because I want to do justice by these players. Also, guys, if y'all could please hit that like button, guys. We have lots of people in the chat right now, and we don't have very many likes. Okay, hit that like button. It is absolutely free, guys. Now you're not gonna really see a lot of like literally player by player talk and analysis. So if y'all do appreciate what I am doing on this channel, I would highly recommend you please let me know by hitting that like button. That'd be fantastic. Also, if y'all can hit that subscribe button, I did not lock the chat to subscribers, but I would like more subscribers. We are on our road to 20,000 subscribers for this channel. So if y'all want to help me do that, please do that by hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button. Okay. All right. Moving on. Let's talk about that high octane offense. Okay. So let's talk about the first player, the first, the player who makes it all happen. That is 5'11" point guard, the point guard herself, Chelsea Gray. Now, Chelsea Gray is a 3-time WNBA champion, 1 with the Los Angeles Sparks and 2 with the Las Vegas Aces. Now, she is a Finals MVP, a Commissioner's Cup MVP, 5-time All-Star, 9th all-time in the WNBA, 4 total assists. Chelsea Gray can do it all. She's all that and a bag of chips for sure. Now, she has vision for days. She can pass that ball. She can sling that ball far and get it right on the money. And not only can she pass the ball, she can also shoot 3-pointers. And also, if she needs to, she can get to the bucket as well. Yes, the Aces have a lot of talent on their team. They do. But the on-the-court visionary for this team is Chelsea Gray. And last season, Chelsea Gray averaged 15.3 points a game, 7.3 assists per game. Yeah, again, 7.3 assists per game. That's a lot of assists. And also 4 rebounds a game. Last year, she did get injured in the finals, but from the looks of it, she is raring to go and ready to start this season off with a bang. And I just can't wait to see her. I just can't wait to see her do her thing this season. And absolutely, Kojo is right. She just signed a contract extension for the Las Vegas Aces. Now, guys, this is something that just happened. And it's very well deserved because I can't really imagine long term the Las Vegas Aces without Chelsea Gray. She did sign a extension today with the Las Vegas Aces. Here is what she said in a quote. And actually, here I can see if I can actually pull this up real quick. So y'all can see the quote for yourself. All right, here we go. Here is a quote that the point guard herself had. So here's what she said. She said, "I love this franchise, this team, and the city of Las Vegas. It's become my home. It's my family's home. I'm about championships and chasing history. We're so close, and we've created a trust, a bond, and want the best for each other all the time. I get to play alongside some future Hall of Famers that love winning as much as I do. We're chasing a legacy here in Vegas." So yeah, that is what she said. She did sign a contract extension through 2025 with the Las Vegas Aces. So guys, yeah, we're gonna continue to see the point guard herself do her thing in a Las Vegas Aces uniform for years and years and years and years to come. Okay. Thank you, Kojo, for reminding me about that because yeah, they doing their thing. You can't do a 3-peat and even a 4 or down the line even a 4-peat without having, in my opinion, the best point guard in the league on your team. So I'm just saying. I am just saying she's healthy now and she's raring to go, and we're gonna see what she has in store for her. All right. Let's see. Kentucky Lucky says, make Quita's night. Get those likes up to 300. Whoa, that would be fantastic. That would be absolutely fantastic if we can get those likes up to 300. That would be awesome. Awesome. Okay, but I do want to just thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Guys, I know this was a late stream and I do apologize for that. But I did just want to make this video because yeah, this team is good. This team is really, really good. And also, guys, I will be doing this for every team. Okay. So the goal initially was to kind of do a team a day. I won't be able to do a video tomorrow. Uh, so yeah, that's that. I won't be able to do a video tomorrow, but I will be able to um, do hopefully two teams on on oh my goodness, can I talk today? I'm gonna try to do two teams on Thursday, two deep dives of teams on Thursday, um, and just trying my best to get these all out before training camp is over, because I do want to let you all know, like, you know, a lot of people don't know some of these players. Yeah, you're gonna know the current players right here that I'm talking about, but you're not gonna know, like, a lot of people don't know. Some of the other players on the roster. And I do just like, I like the idea of going player by player to just sort of talk about each player and talk about like different things I see about their game and whatnot, just so we can have a good time together, okay? All right. I do appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Okay. Kojo says, "Are you going in alphabetical order?" I am not. So I was trying to go in order of seniority. Not quite though. So I first wanted to start with the rookies, and the rookies were not in a normal order. They weren't. Um, and then I wanted to go through so it was sort of buckets. It was the rookies, it was the new players that are not rookies, and it was the core sort of support players, and then finally it's a high octane players who are really doing a lot for the squad. So those were the buckets that I ordered the players through. But in those buckets, no order. It was just random. So hopefully that helps. And yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Kojo. Um, Eugene says Liberty next. I can try to do that. I can try it. No guarantee, but I can try to do it. Again, these videos actually take a whole lot of research. So I will see who's I can like how many teams I can get done. So yeah. All right. Next up, Kelsey Plum. All right, let's talk about Kelsey Plum. So Kelsey Plum is fantastic. She is the founder of Dog Class. She is a 5'8" shooting guard extraordinaire. Kelsey Plum has been with the Aces for her entire career. Before the Aces was named the Aces, it was the San Antonio Silver Stars, which is the team that drafted. This is the team that drafted Kelsey Plum, number 1 overall. We're actually gonna do 3 back-to-back number 1 overall picks. We're gonna do so right now we're gonna talk about Kelsey Plum, then we're gonna move over to Jackie Young, then we're gonna move over to the lady that just does everything, A'ja Wilson. Okay, so we're gonna go to 3 of the number 1 picks for the Las Vegas Aces. Merlin says, "Did you talk about Kate Martin?" I did. I talked about Kate Martin earlier. Yep. I talked about Kate Martin earlier. Yeah, I go to sleep at 10 o'clock every day. I try to go to sleep at 10 o'clock every day. So yeah, my alarm did go off, but I'm still on here because we're gonna kind of quickly go through the rest of these, so we can make some stuff. So I can go to sleep, yeah, y'all can go to sleep too, because I know y'all tired. Y'all probably had a full day of work and all that stuff. So anyway, let's talk about Plum Dog real quick. So last season, Kelsey averaged 18.7 points a game and also added 4.5 assists per game. She is a player that can spot up for a 3. She's a player that can get you on the dribble. For sure, if you want to get all up in Kelsey Plum's grill, if that's what you want to do, if you want to get all up in her grill and try to make her mess up or like whatever. Sure, you can do that if you want. But the problem is, if you do that, you are going to have a time on your hand. Because go against Kelsey Plum, get all up in her grill, and who's she gonna pass it to? Well, she's gonna pass it to this lady right here, Jackie Young, and Jackie Young is gonna light you up. Okay. Jackie Young is the silent assassin herself, standing at 6 foot tall. Jackie Young is quiet, but y'all, she is lethal, and she's a player who turned the corner on her career in 2022, winning the most improved player of the year that year. Last season, she scored 20 or more points a game in 15 games. She also had a career high 30 points last season as well. And on the season, she shot her best last year, shooting 52% from the field. And from the 3-point line, you don't want to leave Jackie Young open. Because if you leave her open, she hitting that, okay? She shoots 44.9% from the 3-point line. Yeah. Jackie is all of that and a bag of chips and more. So yeah, you wanna leave, you wanna highly guard, if you want to highly guard Kelsey Plum, you can do that. She's giving the ball to Jackie Young. Okay, Jackie Young, the silent assassin, the wall. You could whatever you want to say about Jackie Young, that girl is solid. You ain't gonna knock her down. You are not going to knock her down. She's going to be a fun player to watch. And yeah, she's very, very good. Very, very good. All right, so I talked about quite a few players already, right? We talked about quite a few, and guys, I don't want to leave you all without talking about one of the biggest names in women's basketball right now, and yeah, all right, so let's talk about the living legend that is, hold on for dramatic effects. I want to say it at the same time I pop up the photo. Let's talk about the living legend that is Miss A'ja Wilson. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the best player in the WNBA right now. A'ja Wilson is flat out phenomenal, multi-talented too. Because not only is she a great basketball player, did you know she is a New York Times best-selling author. Miss A'ja Wilson, she is standing at 6'4". A'ja Wilson is a player that is just straight up dominant in the paint. Whether it is her getting one of her patented jump shots, whether it's her, doing one of those one-legged shots, whether it's her ability to get in the paint and really work and make some stuff happen, or whether that's her hitting a 3-point shot. And yes, guys, A'ja Wilson can hit some 3-point shots. Okay, every now and again, not super consistently, but every now and then, she gets some 3-point shots. Okay. Guys, I'm saying okay a lot in the stream. I don't normally say okay that much, but I'm saying okay a whole lot in the stream. But anyway, A'ja Wilson can do it all. This past season, A'ja averaged 22.8 points a game, shooting 55.7% from the field, 9.5 rebounds a game, 2.2 block shots a game. A'ja Wilson is phenomenal. She enters the season as the number 2 in WNBA history in free throws made per game, number 2 in WNBA history for field goals made per game. She is 4th in WNBA history for points per game, and she owns the WNBA single game scoring record for points with 53. Yeah. A'ja Wilson is very, very good. And it's going to be hard to find a player that can stop her. Okay. We talk about dominant players in the WNBA, and in my opinion, and guys, you may disagree with this, but whatever. My opinion, it really is. It's A'ja Wilson that dominates on the Las Vegas Aces, and she's fantastic. So you have A'ja Wilson, and you have that girl in Connecticut, Alyssa Thomas. So to me, those two are the best players in the WNBA. And it's fun to watch. It really is fun to watch a player like A'ja Wilson do her thing. Yeah. Yeah. A'ja Wilson, she's a beast down in the paint. She can be a mid-range assassin. Absolutely. And it's hard to find a player who can stop her. It really is. It really is hard. You're gonna have to have a tough time. High Vibration says, "Girl got a whole statue." Yep, got a whole statue. Yep, in South Carolina. Where, FYI, if you didn't know, we will see the Las Vegas Aces play Puerto Rico at South Carolina. All right, so that's I believe the last preseason game that's happening. Okay, that's the last one. Moni says, yes, Quita, respect to Alyssa. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Alyssa Thomas is fantastic. I'm just saying. Bree Wayne says, Quita, you skipped Alicia Clark. Oh no, so sorry. Oh my goodness. That is so lame of me. Oh my goodness. How did I miss Alicia Clark? Okay, so guys, I am sorry. Thank you so much, Bree Wayne. That was that was not my intention to skip Alicia Clark. Okay. Let's talk about let me take it off of A'ja Wilson. All right, y'all see Mr. President over there? He's sleeping. Anyway, A'ja Wilson. Alicia Clark has signed with is back with the Las Vegas Aces. She is a 3-time WNBA champion, who is a fantastic defender. She also is a player who transformed herself. Earlier in her career, she wasn't really a 3-point shooter. She has developed a 3-point shot, and now she looks really, really good. So not only can Alicia Clark play defense, she can also be a spot-up shooter and shoot some threes as well. She is just a player who just brings a lot of depth to this roster. She is, a 6-man. She's a six man of the year last year. She's a player who can start or come off the bench. She actually took a downgrade going to the Las Vegas Aces because she was a starter. And she knew that if she decided to go to the Aces, she was going to have to come off the bench. She embraced that. She welcomed that, and she was the player who Becky Hammon could always bring in and not have to worry. She could bring her in, and Alicia Clark could do her thing. So yes, I'm sorry about that. I didn't intend to skip Alicia Clark. Guys, the Aces just have so many people on their team that it's kind of hard to keep up. I'm just saying, it's kind of hard to keep up. It really is. It really is kind of hard to keep up. Okay, they just have too many. I'm just saying. Yeah, they have way too many players on their roster. but yeah, that was really not intentional at all. not intentional, to skip over Alicia Clark. So my bad, Alicia Clark. Didn't mean it. didn't mean to do it. But yeah, anyway. Um, but yeah, I do want to just if you don't know who Alicia Clark is, I do want to make sure you see her face as well. So this is Alicia Clark. She won when she was in Seattle. She is a winner with the Las Vegas Aces, and she's continuing to do her thing. She also played at with Washington for a hot second as well. Now, last year for the Las Vegas Aces, we saw Alicia Clark average 22 minutes a game. She often off the bench. She scored 6.7 points a game, and it's not really totally about what she can do in terms of offense. It's what she can do in terms of defense, and the fact that you just can't really collapse off of her because she can hit shots. Okay. So yeah. Hopefully that helps you kind of give a picture of who Alicia Clark is. Now guys, I believe I have gone through the entire Las Vegas Aces roster. I do just want to go through this again just to make sure I'm not missing anybody. All right. Let's go. Let's see who am I missing? Who am I missing? All right. Okay, so Bree Wayne says Quita skipped Alana Coates. Well, the thing is though that Alana Coates isn't on the roster. Elena Coates is not. She's not on the roster. So yeah. So Bree Wayne. Hopefully that helps. I believe I've covered everybody. I believe I've covered everybody on the Aces roster. Alana Coates isn't on the roster. So hopefully that helps. All right, so guys, I talked about the various players on the roster. Now I do want to talk about who I think is actually going to make the roster, the actual real roster when the season actually starts. So yeah, let's talk about this. So for sure, I have the core players, of course, making the roster. You have Chelsea Gray, of course, as PG1 for this team. You have here's who else I have. I have Chelsea Gray. I have Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Alicia Clark, Asia Wilson, Kia Stokes, Megan Gustafson. For sure, in my opinion, those 7 players are for sure a lock. No worries about that. I also have Kirsten Bell making the squad again. I have Sydney Colson making the squad. I do have Kate Martin making the squad. And so that's 10 players right there. The reason why I have Kate Martin actually making the squad is because Kate Martin is a I said it before, she's a Swiss Army knife, and she's a player that you can kind of put anywhere on the court, and she can make an impact and make some stuff happen for your team. So that's why I do have her on the squad. Okay, I do think she makes the team. I really do. And the reason why I have Sydney Colson is because Sydney Colson is she's a locker room fit, and she's a player who can come in and actually help you out as a team as well. So I think there's a lot of there's a lot of benefits to having her on their roster. Okay. So yeah. So let's sort of go through those players again. Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Alicia Clark, Asia Wilson, Kia Stokes, Megan Gustafson, um, Kirsten Bell, Sydney Colson, Kate Martin. Those are the first, like, not necessarily the first 10 players, but that's the, those are 10 of the players who are making it. I actually do believe also that Angel Gray has a really, really good shot at making this roster, because I think you do need another post player. So right now, the way that the team is going to be constructed with Candace Parker, retiring, you only have four post players right now. And while that is great, while that's fantastic, I think you need another post player. And so that's why I'm adding in. Personally, I would add in. Angel Gray to that mix. Now it's possible that we see Coach Becky Hammond sort of roll the dice and say, you know what, I'm just going to roll with 4 post players, and that's going to be it. But to me, I do think you need to have a fifth post player. So that's why I would say bringing in a player like a Angel Jackson. Did I say Angel Gray? I meant Angel Jackson. I'm sorry. Yeah, Angel Jackson. Anyway, then the final player that I have, and guys, this is not in a special order. The reason why I named those 10 players is because that was the order that I had on my sheet. Like it has nothing to do with this has absolutely nothing to do with rankings of players or whatever. So please don't read a whole bunch into that. It doesn't matter. So I would also say the other player that I actually really do think is going to make the roster, I think Dyaisha Fair is going to make the roster. I think Dyaisha Fair is going to make it. I think we're going to see 12 players on this roster, and Dyaisha Fair is going to make it. So, yeah. That's my thoughts. Now, guys, I could be dead wrong. I could be. This is me assuming that the Aces will have 12 players on their roster. Now, if they don't have 12 players on the roster, I think they're going to, if they decide, you know what, we don't want to do 12, we want to do 11, just so we can have some like wiggle room at the end of the season. If they do that, then I think they would not pick up Angel Jackson. And they would just roll with four defensive players. As Santo says, no Bree Bill, no Bria Hartley. Yeah, I don't have them making. No, I don't. I don't have them making it. I'm like that. Again, those are fantastic players. Fantastic players. But no, I don't have Bree Bill making it. Mainly because I think in terms of offense, Kate Martin gives you more. Kate Martin gives you a little bit more. Michaela said, I think the Aces will only have 11. I thought that when Candace Parker was still on the team. Now that Candace Parker is not on the team anymore, it makes me think that they're going to possibly have 12 because they have more cap space. They have more cap space to have 12. So, but it's possible. Yeah, it's possible they may just go with 11. That is absolutely possible. So yeah. So yeah, guys, that's kind of my my deal right there. And guys, I don't have a graphic for this. I'm sorry. I didn't have time to make a graphic of the players that I had making the roster. But yeah. But yeah, that's the list, guys. Want to know what y'all think about it? Y'all hate it? Y'all love it? What do y'all think? Our dog says Martin's size worries me. Francine says I hope Deja Fair makes it. Paris says I don't have Brie Bill making it either. I love a big body. Wait, what? Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do all teams. Yep. Honestly says Martin is too small. Have you? Um, I guess it depends on what you're thinking about. Kate Martin playing. I think like Kate Martin she's a small forward. I think she's a fine height for a small forward. Um, but yeah. Anyway, guys, that's my list, guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Um, uh, uh, yeah, guys, it is very late because I do have to go to work really really early tomorrow. So I'm gonna call it quits now, guys. Yes, there's more. There's a lot more that I can say about all these players. There's a lot more. Okay, I could be on here for another 30 minutes. I could be on here for another 30 minutes talking about these players. And specifically why I picked each one of those players. But I don't have time for that, so we're not gonna do that. All right. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I hope y'all have a fantastic day. If y'all can, please hit that like button on y'all way out. That would be fantastic, guys. I gotta go to sleep. And hope y'all pray that I'm not late for work tomorrow. Pray that I'm not late, because yeah, I'm up way past my bedtime. So anyway, I will talk to y'all later. We will be back with some more live streams walking through various teams. And yeah, the goal is to get to all 12 teams. But anyway, if yeah, if everyone's all good to go, we are going to end the stream here. Appreciate y'all. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Shout out to all the folks on Patreon who are supporting this channel. Thank you to the people on Patreon for rocking with me, guys. For folks on Patreon, guys, I will be putting in Patreon pretty soon. But guys, I'm working at a virtual hangout session with all the Patreon people. We're gonna do an Ask Me Anything within reason, and we're also gonna sort of preview some of the merch that's coming out. Okay, so that's gonna be for the Patreon folks. I'm gonna be posting it in Patreon probably tomorrow. To work out the details with the group, but yeah, exclusive for the Patreon folks. So yeah, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna virtually talk to each other, not face to face, but like, camera to camera. We can see each other and we can talk to each other and talk about the game that we really love in women's basketball. Okay, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Appreciate y'all, and until next time, guys. Bye bye.